kumusara nyomwa iminogo mwaturuba munyamazi mabotu kubusana kwa muvete swebo inga mbo tutega mazi tunobotere twenamba tutega mazi mumushovoyo so
Zaramonga, a dedicated design outreach wash manager, has been working tirelessly to bring attention to this pressing issue.
That water, basic water and sanitation and hygiene is not only a need, but it is also a human right for every Zambian, be it in the rural area, be it in the urban setup. And it is very interesting, first, if we just look at the UN report for 2024, which indicated that
globally amaliashi konsekuntum letumfuila baliba abaiteanya instayonse kumulabasa wenu wa Prime TV2. Prime TV2 omulabasa wenu kumaliashi nembilansuma mu mishi yenu.
Hello and welcome to News Flash on Prime TV2, the home of breaking news. We're coming to you live on Topstar channel 110 and streaming on our Facebook page, PTV2 Zambia. Now let's take a look at the stories making headlines. Patriotic Front councillors say Lusaka meeting with President Hakainde Hichilema was not political endorsement. Chipangali PF Member of Parliament Andrew Lubusha calls for church-government partnership in development. Luwingu District Council partners agriculture sector to grow revenue beyond equalization fund. With the news in detail, my name is Rhoda Mlenga. Some councillors from the Patriotic Front on the Copper Belt have refuted claims that they have endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema as their preferred presidential candidate ahead of the August general elections. The councillors have clarified that their recent meeting with President Hakainde Hichilema in Lusaka was not conveyed to discuss political endorsements, but rather to address issues related to councillors' conditions of service and welfare across the country. Speaking on behalf of the Copperbelt councillors, David Piri from Kitwe said there was no collective resolution at any point to endorse President Hichilema. Mr. Piri has described reports suggesting otherwise as misleading and not reflective of the discussions held during the meeting.
Councillor David Piri from Kitwe. First, I want to refute what happened yesterday. The purpose of coming here as councillors was to listen from the president on the conditions of service for the councillors. And even the leaders that came in before the president spoke about that. And we thought the president was going to expand on what other officers had said. That's our expectation. Instead, we heard the president speaking about CDF. The same things that we've heard several times about CDF. He overlooked the issues pertaining to civic matters, especially the conditions of service for civic leaders. So, at the end of that program, there was a vote of thanks by the councillor from Katete, whom we hear wants to stand as an MP in Katete. She pronounced to say we had endorsed His Excellency as councillors, which was not the case. So we want to refute that all councillors endorsed. We didn't endorse. She endorsed in her vote of thanks. As councillors from Kitwe District, Kalulushi, Copper Belt councillors, we state that as councillors coming from PF, we've endorsed Brian Mundovile. That's our position. Yes.
Chipangali PF Member of Parliament Andrew Lubusha has called on the church to partner with the government in delivering development to the people in the district. Speaking when he met pastors from different churches in Chipangali, Mr. Lubusha emphasized that both government and the church serve the same people, adding with government and elected officials to talk about
Andrew Lubusha to discuss issues of development around Chipangali district. The meeting was also aimed at presenting some of the pressing issues affecting the welfare of the people in the area.
There are community locally upon the ilipakati pa misingi maskuli alipata nge tempo ya tumapadra dera msonkhano kama tukumbukirako ya tunaka kwa maskuli kutima wanu wakazipita pasikopa fupi.
It is also my appeal mu constituency ngatupabura tuma privileges timaona ma indoor spray kumabura va election anything concerning that can give somebody can drama instead of requesting every time encouraging men some of us kulibeva meti chita so timaona cheutie vachita kudala register variso vapita
tinoti barazata mami then paka tupanga kile manesi watu afuna titala fanya nyumba ile ije yosata haita share nyumba imoja mapaja atatu ndiye tempo yo ngo nikumbuse ngati mungana lore mwe mwake mthendizi mbali manager tukwa tikadwala kumufuna dokotala athendizi.
Chipangali District Interdenominational Chairperson Pastor Moses Masala called for more engagements with government and elected officials on matters of development.
Tosi tumikira watu wa Moses, but watu wa Moses tumikira tiziona progress yazimsa melize chitika and progress is no matter how busy you are pakarenjira bile kwa sababu kana feedback just to talk about maybe the progress, the way we are progressing together.
Chipangali Member of Parliament Andrew Lubusha, however, asked the church to partner with the government in delivering meaningful development to the people in the area.
Every time discussing development and so on. So it's easier when you hold us accountable to our own promises, to our own performance, our own words, and so on. So I really cherish these meetings together with my team, these meetings and so on, so that we are more accountable to you. So that is into this we continue benefiting. And if we are benefiting the way we are benefiting now, when in this adopted children, what more? Manda Badila 2026.
The pastors, however, thanked government and the area Member of Parliament for a number of developmental projects done in the district so far. Christopher Basilio Banda, Prime TV News in Chipangali District of Eastern Province.
In other news, Pasco Mukawila reports that the Luwingu Town Council in Northern Province has embarked on alternative economic ventures aimed at boosting its financial capacity beyond reliance on the Equalization Fund. Council Chairperson Rodrigues Mlenga says the local authority has partnered with the Department of Agriculture and local cooperatives under the Decentralization by Devolution program to venture into maize and bean seed production. Speaking from the district's Farmers Training Center, Mr. Mlenga said the initiative is designed not only to strengthen the council's revenue base, but to also enhance food security and promote agricultural development in Luwingu district. More in the following report.
Government has been encouraging local authorities across the country to explore alternative sources of income beyond the Equalization Fund in a bid to promote sustainability and reduce overdependence on central government support. Responding positively to the call, Luwingu Town Council has ventured into bean seed production and other agricultural activities aimed at boosting revenue for the local authority while expanding production capacity. Luwingu Town Council Chairperson Rodrigues Mlenga says the authority is determined to turn its available land into a productive asset that will generate consistent income and support service delivery.
Actually, as you may be aware, we have what is called decentralization by devolution. And this is one venture under the Ministry of the Department of Agriculture and Cooperatives. So we are partnering with them. You've seen the maize field. that we are actually embarking on, then production of maize, then the production of bean seed, which in turn will give to farmers and also expand our production. As you can see, also there is a state-of-art infrastructure which will enable us to train our farmers, because this place is called Farmers Training Center, meaning that in itself we should be able to equip our farmers for various crop production in terms of effectiveness. Here we find extension officers, other trainers who are supposed to give skills, to transfer such skills and knowledge to our farmers. Through CDF we have been able to bring water and also electricity. I think you can see we are in the midst of a bush, but there is power also here.
And Luwingu Senior Agriculture Officer Aaron Mutale.
We utilize some piece of land here, which is about 27.5 hectares, to venture into beans production, because we are at this season. So we said that we go into beans production because it was not too late. So that's how we have started partnering with our local authority, so that at least we can increase the ventures of revenue for our local authority.
With this innovation, Luwingu Town Council is steadily moving towards self-resilience, setting a practical example of how local authorities can transform from grant-dependent institutions into productive economic players. Pascal Mukabira, Prime TV News, in Luwingu District, Northern Province.
The National Pension Scheme Authority has revealed that 30 billion kwacha is outstanding in penalties arising from non-remittance of contributions by both public and private sector employers. NAPSA Director General Muyangwa says the authority is pursuing a penalty waiver program for employers who meet the set criteria, but clarified that 1.5 billion kwacha of the outstanding amount is principal contributions owed to the scheme and cannot be waived, as the funds rightfully belong to NAPSA members. Mr. Muyangwa further disclosed that in 2025, NAPSA paid out 2.4 billion kwacha in benefits to members and beneficiaries, of which 1.6 million kwacha was disbursed as monthly pensions to 32,422 pensioners and beneficiaries.
So we have about 30 billion outstanding. Now the next part is for the brave at heart. The principal amount is about 1.5 billion, the rest are penalties. Now, before you say NAPSA is a killer, don't forget there's a penalty waiver. And that's why it was introduced. To make sure that we alleviate this, you say, well, the law says if you don't pay, you shall get so much. But we understand hardships. The government understood the COVID, there's what that happened. How can we make sure that we don't kill the businesses by supporting them to allow them more working capital? And they introduced the penalty waiver. So encourage the employers to come and exercise the right for a penalty waiver. All that you need to do is meet the conditions as stipulated in the statutory instrument. One of them is make sure that the principal amount is paid. How do you make sure that the principal amount is paid? Speak to NAPSA, they will tell you, okay, we are giving you 12 months to pay this since it's back tax. Back contributions, but make sure that your current liabilities are up to date. In terms of turnaround time, so the scheme grew from 95 billion to 113.5 billion in that year of 2025. In terms of turnaround time, this is where we want you to be happy, and I know you are not very happy right now. Our objective here, or our target here, is to reach 0 days. We managed to move it from 14 days at the end of 2024 to 8 days by the time 2025 was closing.
Moving on, the newly constructed Kaliki Primary School in Sesheke District of Western Province, built using the Constituency Development Fund, is expected to have an examination center next year. The school, which runs from grade 1 to 7, was established in 2003, and since then its grade 7 pupils have been sitting for their exams at the neighboring schools. Speaking during the official handover of the infrastructure to the community, Area Member of Parliament Romeo Kangombe said the government has put everything in place to ensure that by next year the pupils write their exams right at their school. More details in the following report.
In 2003, Kaliki Primary School in Sesheke District began with grass-thatched makeshift structures before moving into temporary pole and mud classrooms. However, as the pupil population grew, these classrooms became insufficient. The community called for the construction of permanent as well as spacious classrooms, and their plea was answered by the local authority. A 1x3 classroom block has been built, complete with desks and solar power to better serve the learners. Sesheke Member of Parliament Romeo Kangombe handed over the infrastructure to the community.
Muyao uzama ilela hande nile mai kutua mtumpe akainde kaofela. Kuli tuto mwanaha izwele pili. Kuzwela pili kwa naha kiva nana kuituta. Kina haku ituta. Na ye itutile nina ye iska ituta. Yashutana. Muyao uzama hape ni madeski. Elu kupa kwa baluti. Niba na basikolo kuli madeski ya ulusikolo asinya. Mwana mtumpe akainde. Ulufamane hama usholo ni baluti.
Sesheke District Commissioner Alex Zambia emphasized the importance of quality education that these new classrooms will provide.
As you know, education is a key to unlocking opportunities, and it is crucial we provide our children with a conducive learning environment. That's why initiatives like these are vital, and I'd like to thank the community for their hard work.
Town Council Chairperson Kapilas Mushi and Sesheke Town Council Secretary Collins Monga were present to witness the momentous occasion.
The completion of this classroom block, together with provision of desks procured under CDF, is a clear demonstration of government's commitment to taking development closer to you, our people.
And to the parents, the community here, I just want to say that please take ownership of this infrastructure. Jealously, it is for you, the community.
A representative from the DEP's office, Pelekero Stali, highlighted that the school will now have an examination center, while the local traditional leadership expressed their gratitude for the improvements.
Earlier, our learners from Kaliki Primary School were writing their national examinations from Jokomalomo Primary School because they didn't meet the standards for administrative exams. The reason being that they only had a temporal structure. But as I speak today, the school actually has already applied for a grade 7 center status. And next year, they are going to write right from Kaliki Primary School.
Kachwalo ni mulonga waluna. Ufixa witume lwa holo, kubo president hakainde, ni MP Kangombe, ne kusinaze chwanaze.
For Prime TV News in Sesheke District, Marcus Bransakvita reporting.
And that item ends the news flash on Prime TV2. Let's take a recap of the stories that made headlines. Patriotic Front councillors say Lusaka meeting with President Hakainde Hichilema was not a political endorsement. Chipangali PF Member of Parliament Andrew Lubusha calls for church-government partnership in development. And Luwingo District Council partners agriculture sector to grow revenue beyond equalization fund. Thank you so much for staying with us. But for these and other stories, to like our Facebook page, that is PTV2 Zambia. On behalf of the entire news and production crew, my name is Rhoda Mlenga. Stay tuned.
Have about 2.2 billion people that are still lacking